So, the hawk problem has turned into a hawk epidemic. It's definitely escalated. I told you I lost a cream leg bar yesterday. A couple days before that, I lost a barred rock. A couple days before that, I lost a partridge rock. And just now I got back. I went down to the house to have lunch. It was gone maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Came back up in order to see a big bird fly back out into the woods, and I found one of the birds in the Mediterranean flock killed under the house, similar to Vivienne had died right on the corner. I don't know if the hawk is crawling under there to get them, if they're using their last breath to get away. This one was actually fully decapitated. I can't quite tell if it was my buff leghorn or my buff Minorca. There's whichever one that is. I think it was the leghorn because of the yellow legs. That was the only one of those I had left, and they are very hard to come by, so I may be done with buff leghorns for the foreseeable future. But anyhow, I have really got to figure out a strategy. Feel free to post if you have ideas on what I can do. I've lost, hey Java, I've lost 3 birds from this flock in the last week with what I feel is pretty darn good cover in here. And yet that doesn't seem to be making a difference. And then, this group is obviously a little bit more open. There's not nearly as much cover. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roosters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roosters in here with these. So those lads are definitely not up to the task. And if they're sounding the alarm and the hawk is flying in and going under the house to get the birds, it's not really the rooster's fault. Over here, I think there are also 5 or 6 roosters. But over here, there were a bunch of these larger white feathers. These weren't here yesterday. So I'm wondering if maybe the hawk tried to get in here and do an attack, and the kids were under these brambles, and maybe that protected them. Or maybe there was a rooster, I checked, the roosters are also here. There's nobody dead or missing in this paddock. So maybe Robert over there, he has white feathers, put up a good fight. Java is mostly black and mottled. He's the biggest boy here, but I don't think he did anything. So I'm not quite sure what happened over here. I feel like maybe there was an attack here that failed, and then the hawk moved over there where it was successful and just killed quite gruesomely either my buff Minorca or my buff leghorn. I've already taken the body and I've put it in the burn pile. I've got a burn going today anyhow. I've been having some difficulty burying the bodies in the orchard and them getting dug back up again. We have heavy clay soil, so it's difficult to get the birds down much below 24 inches. And that takes a lot of work, so I've just resorted to burning the bodies. I'm sorry if that's off-putting to anyone. The ash will be spread around in the orchard, so the birds will be returned to the orchard that they've been helping rejuvenate. But oh wow, is that Sam? That might be Sam with an enormous crest. Maybe that wasn't Sam who was lost yesterday. Huh. Sorry, if you saw the video I put up earlier today, it's about yesterday's attack on a cream leg bar. So anyhow, I'm open to suggestions. Feel free to place comments. I don't really have a setup that is appropriate for putting netting over everyone. The birds rotate every 2 to 4 weeks. They move throughout this orchard. Tomorrow is the next scheduled time to move them, but I'm actually really hesitant to put them out because this area has the best cover of any part of the orchard right now. All the trees that are planted out here are still quite small. I'm really hesitant to move them to fresh pasture, which I think would make them happier, but it also exposes them to a lot more danger until I can figure out what the deal is with this hawk. It clearly seems to be unafraid of the roosters, the geese, the guineas, all the things that sound an alarm. Seem to be ineffective, and for whatever reason the birds are not able to make it into the house or under the house, or even if they do, it seems that maybe that is not enough to dissuade the hawk from pursuing them. So that's a pretty ballsy predator that has now taken 5 birds since the new year. That's the most we've ever lost to predators. I mean, just in such a short amount of time, far and beyond, above and beyond anything like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm kind of stunned. And I know people talk about you put out like pie tins and DVD discs, shiny things to dissuade the hawks. You can put up some rope, like some streamers. If you can't net the whole thing, you can sort of run stuff up to make it more of an obstacle course and dissuade the hawk. What's funny is you can probably hear and see in the tree line, I mean, there's thousands of starlings or whatever it is that comes to the farm this time of year. I mean, why doesn't the hawk just go and pick off a bunch of those? There's tons of them. I guess my chickens are an easier target. So yeah, this one's a puzzle. I'm gonna have to figure this one out. All right. Thanks for watching. Comments, suggestions, questions, welcome in the comments below. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you very much, and I hope you're having a better day than we are right now. Yeah. Okay. Take care.